Hello YouTube, this is going to be a video on the 77 to 1980 Cadillac Climate Control. I have an 80 Cadillac hearse with climate control. I was experiencing some problems with it, and there's virtually no information or videos on this that I could find on the internet or on YouTube, so I got some things together and I'm going to share with you the information I have, just so you know you'll have something to go by if you have any problems. We got the control port here that's on the dashboard. It's got vacuum connections on the back. It's got electrical connections on the back. Some of these vacuum lines go to the AC programmer. Some of them go to the vents. It operates the vents. As you hit this lever here, it slides on a track. This slide here, it activates electrical ports in here, which sends different signals to different places, and it also spins the vacuum selector here right there, and it selects different vacuum routing for the function that you've selected on the front. You have an AC programmer here. It's got vacuum that comes in through the vacuum plugs. Let me see if I can get a better shot at this. So this is your AC programmer. It's got a latch here that goes to the hot and cold door. This basically works. It's got a spring in here. This is the vacuum motor transducer. It's on a board. These wires here, of course the black's ground. These go to the dial that you have on the port right here. So the dial sends an electrical signal. You know, if you have it on low, it sends a low one, and as you turn it, it gets higher and higher. And as it gets higher, it operates this transducer, and the transducer pulls vacuum. It goes to here first. This is like a check valve or something. As the motor drops in vacuum, this keeps the vacuum current for the vacuum motor. So it routes into here, and then it comes around and routes into the vacuum motor, and it pulls vacuum. And as it pulls vacuum, it pulls this whole piece over. It's pulling vacuum there. As it pulls it over, it twists that door, that actuator right there, and it opens and closes the door. When you have vacuum to it all the way over, the door is open. It's letting heat into the vehicle. Once you turn the control knob down on the port, the transducer vents this out. It vents this vacuum out into the atmosphere. The spring pulls the contraption back like this and closes the door. As this opens and closes, it sends signals to the blower motor and through the resistors. You know, it's this climate control deal. It resists the blower motor. There's 4 different stages, basically levels: high, medium, a little more medium, and then low, or the other order. But that's pretty much what I've got so far on that. I've already fixed my problem. I'll also take the camera out to the car and I'll show you where this is located. And you have your vacuum lines here. You got the main vacuum coming in, which is this black one here. These would go to the AC vents is the tan one. The yellow one, I believe, is the defroster bleed. The blue one is your main defroster, and the green one is the floor setting, the lower level. Now these come into here. This one plugs into the AC programmer, and this is your main vacuum coming in here. It's got a T. One goes to the AC programmer, the other goes to the port. They all go to this plug here. It's like a separator, and then they follow to the back of the AC port. So this plug here goes to the back of the control head on the dashboard. Also, what I've got here are two service manuals. I have the electrical troubleshooting manual. It's got a better diagram in it, so let me go to this one first. If I can find it. I think I passed it. There we go. Here is a wired diagram for the temperature control. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but what I will do is get a good picture of it, and then that way you guys can just pause the video and read it here. All these wires are color coded. You got the red, the blue, the orange. The tan one that goes to the blower motor, it goes through resistors. This is the resistor block here. This is the switch in the programmer. And this is the control head, all the different functions there. You got your hot coming in from the fuse block. And you got the AC relay here. And there's about 100 different sensors on this damn thing. This climate control is a real pain in the butt. This splits off here. This is for your gasoline engines, and this all over here is for your diesel engines. This system is on the rear-wheel drive full-size Cadillacs, not the limousines though. The limousine has a different system in it. It's similar, but it's different. So there's that. This is the electrical diagram, and the next page we have the vacuum diagrams. And I'm going to try and get all of this here. You got all your different colored vacuum lines and the settings. Hopefully this is clear enough for everyone to read. This is the main vacuum coming in. These are those tubes that I just showed you earlier, all the different colored vacuum lines. Alright, so that's that. Another thing that I wanted to let you guys know before I go out to the car is I've seen it on two of them so far. You got the control head here, you got your temperature dial. These can become uncalibrated. Basically, you put it on cold and it's sending the wrong signal to the transducer, and it's either opening the door too far and letting too much heat in, or it's not opening the door enough, and you put it on here and it's not opening the door enough and you're not getting any heat. There's a special tool to calibrate this, you would have to, excuse me while I find this part in the book. I'm going to show you how to do it without the tool, but you're going to want to get yourself an ohm meter like this, and you're going to want to hook it up to the wires on the top. These two wires here. Sorry guys. Hook your own meter up here, of course with it powered, and basically the tool, it slides in here and it grabs, I guess, the main shaft in there, and it holds it still while you turn this around it. But I was able to just, you know, take a pair of pliers, or in this case a small pair of wire cutters, and then hold that top shaft right there, and then you can turn this around it, basically eliminating the need for the tool, and you can calibrate it there on your own. So that's that right there. Now I'm going to run out to the car, and I'm going to show you some things out on the car. Also in here, you take this nut out, this bolt out here, take that one out. You're going to take these two out, and there's one here and here, and you can get this whole thing apart. It's not too complicated. You're going to want to take this plug off of this part to get this out of the way, and basically you get this out, and you turn this to where these two tabs line up with this holes. You push it through, and there's little connectors in there, and as you turn it, it connects each wire in here to the prongs that it needs. But they can get real dirty, and they need a little bit of electrical grease in there, because you know, that grease is dried up for over the past 30 years, and it gets dirty in there. And you know, if you guys are having a problem, like a connection problem, it could be in there. You might not be getting a good connection. I've taken a couple of these apart, and they're absolutely filthy inside. So yeah, that might be an idea that you guys might want to check out. You have test holes here, so you can put your check light in there to see if you're getting what you need to be getting. Also, you see, here's the vacuum routing in this book. It's a little more complicated. It's not color coded, but I'll go ahead and look at that for you guys. But and then over here we have the electrical part. And over here is the in-car temperature sensor. This is the dial, you know, the hot and cold dial. It goes through resistors into the AC programmer and then into the transducer. You got your main wires coming in here off the starter solenoid. Goes through the ignition switch, then the fuse block. It goes into these ports here. These are the plugs. This is the back of the control head here. And you know, all the wires go over to the AC programmer here, and these are the wires that go up to the resistors. I'm not sure if you can see the color, but I'm going to try and get that in there for you. This is all on that other one. So this is an explanation of the check valve. If you're having problems with it not getting vacuum at a low idle, you know, that could be your problem, is that check valve there. So also wanted to show you guys that there is a few sensors in the car. There's one right here underneath this dial. You see those two black wires, they go to it. That's one of the in-car sensors. Another one is up under the dashboard. You actually got to take the top dash pad off to get to it. But when you get to this AC programmer, there's a hose a pretty big hose that runs into it, and it goes up to that sensor that's underneath the dashboard. That's an in-car sensor. This is another in-car sensor. There's a sensor here. It brings ambient air in from outside, and it, you know, senses and does its thing. If any one of these sensors go bad, it throws off the whole system. So that's another thing to check out are those sensors. Make sure they're doing what they need to do. So I'm going to stop this video here. Well, not stop the video. I'm going to stop the camera here, and I'm going to go out to the car and show you guys where this is located. So I will see you in a bit. Alright, here we are out in the car. First, to get to the vacuum control head on the dash, you're going to want to lift your vents up here. You got a screw up in there and up in there, and they go to a plastic tab that's under here that you got to take those two screws out, and you got a screw here and a screw here that you got to take out. So I'm going to go ahead and take that apart and replay the video. And to get to the AC programmer, there's two ways to get to it depending on what you're trying to do. If you want to take it out, you got to go through both ways. Open the glove box. You got a screw here. You got a screw here. There's one here, and there's one here. You take out these screws, and this glove box will come out. And the AC programmer is straight back that way and down a little bit. Another thing you're going to want to do is come underneath, and you got this plastic shield here. There's a few screws that hold it in. You're going to want to take those screws out and remove this too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so we can get to it. Alright, so here we are in the center of the dash with the radio bezel removed. We got the port here. That's a control head. We got all the lines are plugged, the electrical lines are plugged into it. You got the vacuum line plugged into it here. There's the dial there. So you take those screws out. That was here, 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 and here. The whole radio bezel comes out, and you can get to this. To get this off, you got a screw here and a screw here, and then this whole thing comes off, and then you're going to want to unplug the vacuum lines and the electrical connections. Some of these electrical lines go to the fuse block and the AC relays and everything, and like I said, some of them travel to the AC programmer, which is that way. That one sensor that I was telling you about that's under the dash, if you look right here, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but on your car, if you look right here, there's a tiny little slit under there, and it sucks in air. It's right here underneath of the dash pad. If you have a problem with the hose coming off, there's that big hose that goes to it. Like I did, I put a mirror. I got my wife's makeup mirror and I rested it up right here, and I was able to get that line back on there because I could see back in there, because my head is too big to stick into this hole. So there's the AC programmer. There's one mounting screw there. There's the door that it actuates. There's a threaded rod that comes out, and it plugs into the plastic clip on the door, on the actuator, and it pulls that door open and closed. You got all the vacuum lines coming in here. This right here is for the electric door. You put the AC on max AC, and it actuates this, and it pulls air from inside the cabin, already cooled air, so you got already cold air coming in. And if you need to get the glove box door out of the way to work on it, it does make it a little easier. Just remove these 4 bolts, and this glove box door does come out of the way. They're not perfectly lined up, so if you go to put this back on, you're going to have to play with it a little as you can see, you're gonna have to play with it a little to get it centered so it'll close back up and you'll have equal gaps on all sides. That's a little thing to think about. So you come under here, you take this plastic kick plate off here, and then it gets you to the underside of the programmer, which is right here. You got one mounting bolt here and another mounting bolt back here, and those are the 3 mounting bolts that hold this AC programmer on. So I hope this video will help some people. I'm sure it won't help all, as I don't cover every single aspect of this climate control system, but this is a basic idea of how the vacuum and electrical works. So if you guys have any questions, just send me a comment or ask me in a message. I'll refer back to the service manual that I have and try to answer any of you guys' questions. Once again, thank you for checking my video out. Don't forget to go on my page and check out my other videos, and like and subscribe if you'd like. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great day. Bye.